It gives me immense pleasure to invite Ma'am Bharti Gosai, the Academic Director of Red Rose Group of Schools, to formally introduce the resource person for today's webinar. Over to you, Bharti Ma'am.
Reinforce, readjust, restart. As many times as you need to, just never give up. With the blessings of Ma Saraswati and our beloved founder, late Shashima ji, and with the inspiration of our Honorable Founder Sir, Honorable MD Sir, and Honorable Chairperson Ma'am, today I welcome on behalf of Red Rose Group of Schools, Champa Banerjee Ma'am, to conduct a session on Explore the Environment with Hands-on Activities. Mrs. Champa Banerjee has a rich experience of 30 years in the field of education. She developed creative ideas in the teaching of science and contributed to the publication of the EVS kit at the Teacher Research Center. She has also written articles in science journals on innovative method of teaching. Mrs. Banerjee has conducted more than 200 workshops for students and teachers, not only across the country, but also abroad cities like Moscow, Melbourne, St. Petersburg, Berlin, Paris, etc. Her field of expertise lies in innovative method of teaching, motivation, value education, life skills, and creative science skills. She is an All India Merit Scholar and a President Gold Medal awardee. At present, she is associated with Oxford University as a resource person. So, today she is with us, and I want to thank the Almighty for everything we are planning and getting opportunity to execute the same. So we all are lucky that ma'am is here today with us. Students, now you all should be ready with the notebook and or pen and pencil with you, so that what all instructions you are getting from ma'am. If you want, you can pen down these activities, these instructions that you are getting, the guidelines that she is giving you all. Make a note of that so that you can use in future. So, ma'am Banerjee is just, we welcome you all here. Now over to you. Yes, Anuradha ma'am.
Yeah, so Champa ma'am, over to you now.
Thank you for the beautiful introduction. Ma'am, yes, I have been working in this field for the past many years now, more than 40 years. And I'm glad, I'm fortunate that I'm still able to give some of my experience, lend some of my experience to others who wish to take it. Oxford University Press has given me this opportunity. I thank them as well. Thank you, Anuradha. Thank you, Mrs. Goswami. And we shall start straight away. Yes, that is a small pot that I have. And let us say, how do we grow plants? All of you must be knowing that we require some soil. So I have some mud here, soil you can say, and I shall pour it into this and press it down. Now, to make it a little healthy or improve its condition, we can add certain things in the soil which will actually make it richer, that is, help plants to grow better. Now this is waste, or rather the leftover tea leaves. They're dry, so you can add tea leaves, and all kitchens will have some tea leaves. I don't know how you make tea, but this tea leaf that I have is minus sugar and milk, because I don't make tea along with sugar and milk, so it should be devoid of that. This is just pure tea leaves. I have some onion peels which I shall add to it, onion peels and other kitchen waste. It could be from all your other vegetables or peels of vegetables, peels from fruits. I just add to it, and this will help in improving the soil. So here goes some of it into it. Another thing that you can add, that is, if you are taking eggs, you can crush an eggshell into it, and this will enrich the soil with a lot of calcium. I'm starting with earth and with the plants. So here goes calcium into the soil. Now, just to cover it, I have some dry leaves. These are dry leaves. Dry leaves are very good. A, they do provide some ingredients to make a healthy soil, and B, also to just maintain the moisture inside the mud. So here I put that also. Children can make use of all these things. Again, next I add the mud and cover the entire thing with mud. You can make one or two more layers as you wish, depending on the pot that you have. My pot here is a very small one that I've taken. Naturally, I have to accommodate it on this table in front of the laptop. So with this, I'll say what kind of plant can we grow. Well, there are lots of plants that can be grown inside the house. I have some of them here. I'll just show you one or two, which you can keep at home and on some table where you can, they can be a piece of decoration also, and of course, a source of oxygen. So you can plant this kind of, well, the larger one is called, or the bigger one is called the mother-in-law's tongue, very famous, and Sansevieria. Now, this is a variety of Sansevieria, a smaller variety. It's very good and very easy to maintain. You don't have to water it every day. Just put some water, let's say once in 2 days, now that it's summer, and in winters, it could be once in a week. Another one, which is very common and you can grow very easily, is the spider plant. This is a very common plant. And I have some other plant also growing with it. This flowering plant is also there. It's a succulent. So you can see this is it's a beautiful one, and you can keep this plant also indoors. So to improve the environment, one thing that you can do, and all of you can contribute towards it, that is children also, is help in using the kitchen waste as manure, especially when we talk of the tea leaves, which normally what we all do is throw it into the kitchen sink, which is really very, very dangerous because it can cause the drains to clog. We don't want the drains to clog. So just remember never to throw kitchen waste into the sink, and especially not to throw tea leaves. I've been telling this over and over again to many people. And it's the children I address because they will make sure that tea leaves are not thrown into the kitchen sink. Keep them aside, use them as manure, and you'll get better plants growing in your little garden or inside the house, wherever you want to plant them. Next is water. Water, as you know, is a commodity that we all require for our daily use, just like the air. So the water as well. Now, water sometimes contains what we call particles of some mud or maybe something else, which we need to clean. We can't drink this kind of water. We can do many things to improve its quality. Of course, you may have installed an RO system at home, but suppose we don't have an RO system. We are grappling with the situation and we don't have an RO system. What we can do is we can filter the water. Now, this is a filter paper. You can all see this is a filter paper. The filter paper needs to be folded first into half. This is exactly half. Now, fold it again. So this becomes a quarter of the filter paper. As you can all see, this quarter. Now, I have made a makeshift funnel. This is a bottle. I think all of you can see the bottle. And the bottle has been cut from here. I've cut the bottle from top. And now this top portion acts as a funnel. So I place the funnel. The bottle acts as a glass. I place the funnel. And then Put the filter paper. Secure the filter paper in place. Now, as you can see, the filter paper has been placed inside the funnel. And here is my water, which contains some unwanted particles, which we don't want to have. And I pour it over this filter paper. Slowly, the water will flow and enter the container. This way, you can filter the water. Once you've filtered the water, even then you might find that it is not safe to drink. So the next thing to do is to boil the water. Once you boiled it, it is deprived of any kind of germs that may be present in the water. Yet, it maintains the necessary minerals that are present in water. Then for planets, you can use sketch pens, and you can use buttons, as I've used some buttons on this because it's a large one. So nice little buttons. This is Jupiter, this is Saturn with its rings around it. So you can use many things to represent the planets, and making it at home is an easy task. The only thing that you may find difficulty in is cutting the tennis ball. So please don't do the cutting yourself. Take help from adults, seniors at home who might use a knife to cut it. It's not very difficult. Cut it into half and then place it like this. So another summer workshop, and you can have fun. You can see the number of bindis that I have. Large ones like this, small ones, very small ones, very small ones, and very, 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 very small ones. So all kinds of size of bindis just to be used for representing the planets. Another thing that we can do is make our own solar system and try and understand what is the size of different planets. If we take a papaya, as you can see, the papaya is nice and yellow. So the sun, papaya is the sun. You know, the size of Mercury, or how small the Mercury might be in front of this huge papaya. Maybe a grain of mustard, or it could be even khaskhas. Mercury is that small in comparison to this papaya. So just to realize that the planets are so small as compared to the sun. And the distance, if I keep the sun here, representation of sun, that is the papaya, then I will have to keep Mercury some 5 or 10 meters away just to show the distance. And then beyond is unthinkable. Anyway, the solar system is very interesting. What we also know about the solar system is that moon is our neighbor. And moon is called a satellite of Earth. So now I have some moons placed here just to show their revolution around the Earth. The moon revolves around the Earth, and the moon also rotates on its axis. One thing about the moon and the Earth is that both of them take the same time to complete one rotation. That is, if the Earth is taking 24 hours to complete its rotation, so is the moon taking 24 hours to complete one rotation. And because of that, we see only one phase of the moon. I have made a very simple but very effective model of the phases of the moon. These phases of the moon, if you can all see it properly, you can take a nice picture of the phases of the moon, and you will notice that all the faces, the black side is facing you, and the white side is on the side. So half of the moon is white and half is black, depending on where the sun rays are falling on it. If you look in the center, I have placed 4 mirrors. When you look inside the mirrors, the moon, each position of the moon will give you different phases. That means you can have a full moon and you can have a no moon. I'm not very sure which side of the moon you are able to see, but I hope it is the full moon that you're seeing right now. Or is it the no moon that you're seeing? You can try this out with even when your teachers are not there, but if you want, just tennis balls painted half black, and then each half of the black facing towards one side, placed at 8 different positions to show this. For me, this is new moon, this is crescent, this is half, this is gibbous, and this is full moon. Again, gibbous, half, crescent, no moon. So 8 phases of the moon. And if you want, you can try and make it at home. This is a good project work. The moon, the sun, and the earth show eclipses. And an eclipse can very easily be understood when we say that an eclipse is a shadow. If it is a shadow, then how can we observe this shadow using other materials and see the reason why a shadow falls on the earth or a shadow falls on the moon? I have out here sweet lime, and this is a lemon. This represents moon, and this represents the earth. If I had an orange, it would be better because the orange is flatter, but anyway, this is also quite flat at the top. Do you know what the shape of the earth is called? It's not spherical. The shape of the earth is a geoid. Note this down. The earth is a geoid, and the flat surface at the Arctic, that is North Pole, and at the South Pole makes it not a perfect sphere. But nevertheless, you can represent the orange or the sweet lime as earth and a lemon as the moon. Now, how to observe? I'll try my level best to make you see the shadow falling on the earth when the sun rays are block the light Now you can see the shadow of the moon falling on the earth. This is earth. The shadow is falling on the earth or not? That is, what do we call this? A solar eclipse. The moon is blocking the light of the sun falling on the earth. Now, very little here you can see more clearly the shadow on earth. I'll just make the placement in a different angle and let us see if you can observe better. No, I don't think so. Anyways, I hope this is, yes, you can see the shadow. Now the opposite, that is when the earth blocks or moon doesn't get any light. When the earth blocks, there goes moon in complete shadow. Now, yes, full moon. So this was about solar and lunar eclipse. The next thing is shadows itself. What happens in the morning? Look at the long shadow in the morning. The shadow is long in the morning. Now see what happens to the shadow as the day Now, where do you think we are? What time of the day would this be? When the shadow is directly under. So that means the shadows become the shortest. Now let us see what happens. Afternoon. Here's the afternoon. Afternoon. Have a look at the shadow. Have a look at the shadow. Have a look at the shadow. Oh, the shadows become so long. And now it is nighttime. So this part is facing nighttime. That part is facing day. Again, let us have a look if you have understood. This is morning. Morning shadow. Have a look at the morning shadow. It's so long. Early morning. Now it's rising. The sun is rising. The sun is rising on the horizon. The sun is rising. It's 11 o'clock. It is 11:30. It's 12 o'clock. And around 12:30, let us say, exactly directly above. What happens afterwards? Look at the shadow. Look at the shadow. Look at the shadow. The shadow's grown longer shadow. So that's evening time. So shadows can be, I can make many other experiments using for shadows, but we are talking about the sun, moon, and the earth. We have touched upon earth, plants. Then we talked about water, some of its properties, and the usefulness, why we should have pure drinking water, clean drinking water. We don't call okay, it's pure and it contains minerals, but it's good for our health. So how to make it? Because that's very important. That's immediate environment. Then we had the beautiful sun family and we are part of that family. So the earth is part of that family. Now we studied for that. Today, I will just show you an experiment, which is called how to make a hovercraft. Hovercraft is a vehicle which moves on land and on sea and slides. It actually glides over it. So with the help of a balloon and some air over this very simple waste CD with a cap fitted on top, the tiny hole. Now the CD also has a hole below. So there is a hole here in the CD and the cap has a hole here. So now I'm going to place a balloon filled with air over this cap and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Just see what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh, there. Again, we can try it. Give some space left. We can again try it. There's another experiment that I should show you using air. Lifting an object without touching it. Let us see if we can do it. This is a balloon tied to a straw. Can you see this? Oh, there goes. Again. This is because of air pressure. And as soon as I release the air, there. Let's see if it can pick up a larger object. This is a bigger thing. I'm not very sure whether it will be able to lift a glass, but let's try. No, I think air is moving out. Did you see that? It's lifted a glass without touching. There falls the glass. So this is all about air pressure. Let's see if our hovercraft moves a little faster here. We have released it. I would like to know, what are the activities that the students enjoyed the most?
Champa ma'am, they have already put it in the chat box.
Okay, they put it in the chat box. Okay.
Yes. And some say the balloon activity, some have written the space activity. Somebody has written that they would want to have a potted plant. They'll do it themselves. So, Shreya says that she liked the solar system.
Yes.
Harshit says he liked the space activities. So these are the responses that we have been getting. Rudransh says that art and craft activities. Prachi liked all the activities. I would now invite Deepali ma'am to please give the vote of thanks. So Deepali ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to present the vote of thanks today. A very fresh good morning to all of you. Today, when Ma'am Champa Banerjee is here with us rather, and she took a wonderful session on explore the environment with hands-on activities. It was a great show, and that we could always see through the messages that the children have pouring in the chat box. I take the privilege in expressing my thanks to you. First and foremost, I will present my heartiest gratitude to the Almighty Father and Mother Nature, for it is only through their blessings that we are able to live a healthy and happy life. And we are able to sustain in these trying times also. My floral tribute to Shashima, and my sincere regards to our founder, sir, and other members of the managing committee, our MD, sir, chairperson, ma'am, for always encouraging us in all our endeavors. When Ma'am Banerjee has shown us so many experiments, my children will certainly benefit from them. And I've seen the kind of experiments and the reactions from the children also that has come during the certain video clips that we have seen. It's really very interesting. The mnemonics that you shared, ma'am, my very educated mother just served us nuts. So even that mnemonics will definitely help the children to learn the sequence of the planets with respect to the distance from sun. Thank you, ma'am, for being such a wonderful facilitator. My sincere regard and gratitude to Oxford University Press India for hosting one of the most sought after webinar for us. And Oxford team has always been very cooperative and have always shouldered the teaching learning that happens at Red Rose Group of Schools, especially the primary wing. I also take the privilege in thanking our academic director, ma'am, for making all this possible for us. And yes, ma'am, your coordination and your blessings is always solicited. Last but not the least, I would definitely like to extend my heartiest gratitude to the teaching staff, to the parents and the children for attending this didactic and activity-oriented webinar. And I know you must have got a great learning from us from this webinar today, and we all will certainly do the activities in the forthcoming sessions that we'll have in-house. Thank you everyone for being there. Thank you so much. Over to you, Anuradha ma'am.
Thank you, Dipali ma'am.
Ma'am, I would like to speak a few words.
Yes, of course, Satyabama ma'am.
Yes. Happy morning, everybody. Wishing you the most and more. Dear Madam Champa Banerjee, thank you so much for your fantabulous webinar on explore the environment with hands-on activities. Our students are really fortunate enough to join with you, and they have learned so many activities and scientific facts within a short duration. Students have learned important concepts through your demonstration. Thank you so much, dear ma'am. And I wish our students should get more and more opportunities to attend your effective session. I thank Ms. Anuradha, I thank the management, I thank Bharti ma'am and Deepali ma'am and everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Deepali ma'am and Satyabhama ma'am, for those kind words. Champa ma'am, when the children do that, I'll keep you informed about how they did the activities, and I'll share pictures with you of whatever they do. So thank you, everyone. Champa ma'am, special thank you to you and to the management of Red Rose School, to the parents and to the students. Thank you so much, everyone.